everybody, and welcome to Trigger Warnings Book Club, the show where we talk about the books that make us laugh, cry, and clutch our pearls. We're your hosts, Caitlin and Holly. With us, as always, our producer, Andrew. And today we're joined by a very exciting guest, contemporary romance author Leigh Creek.
Yay! Welcome, Leigh.
Yay. Thank you for having me.
All right, quick before we dive in, if you love a good book chat, hit follow so you don't miss episodes like this one. And Leigh, we are so happy to have you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Leigh, do you want to introduce yourself? Tell us a little bit about what you write and some books that you've written and that kind of thing.
Sure. So I'm Leigh Creek. I write books sometimes. I write contemporary romances, and I have 2 books out currently, one of which is called The Pen Name Project, my first book, the spicy rom-com with a little hint of suspense. And then my second most recent release is Twisting Fates, which is basically like, if you like twisters, that's your vibe.
Oh,
Ooh.
Very cool.
Okay.
It's a very, very niche topic.
I got the idea after watching Twisters, and I love watching tornado documentaries, so I was just like, need.
So Twisters, the second one.
Well, I'm a kid of the 90s, so I grew up watching Twister. So when Twister came out, I was like, I need to see if this even can compare to the original. Like, I'm very snooty about it. Like, does this even compare?
I went to see Twisters when it came out with mine and Caitlin's other friend from college, and it was like a Tuesday, so it was just her and I in the theater, and we had to have like a moment of silence afterwards.
We must take this in.
Yeah.
So are you interested in storm chasing in general, or is just the movie that got your interest?
Both, honestly. Like, I love watching like tornado documentaries. Like, I get so much fun watching them. And so I was just sitting there, working on another project, and I was just like, what if there was 2 tornado chasers and they fell in love?
What if?
Ooh. That sounds wonderful.
That's great.
Actually.
Yeah, that sounds right up my alley.
Heck yeah.
We always like to get started with what we are currently reading. Who wants to start us off?
I think Andrew should start.
I have a surprise for you both.
Oh?
I am reading a book right now.
Is it the same book you were reading?
Yes, I don't want to mention what it is because there is a potential for to spoil from future content, but I have a Kindle and I'm using it.
Okay. Do we get a genre idea?
Well,
it's spicy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
So
I was there when he downloaded it to his Kindle.
Is it
guess what I'm
off-campus?
reading.
Is it the deal because you feel left out about our off-campus chat?
No, I still have to watch the show. I that's
Still
another challenge for me.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Okay, I can go next. I literally, right before we hopped on, finished Portrait of a Thief, which was a little bit different for me. It isn't traditionally a romance, although by the end, there were a bunch of couples in it. Basically, it's these college students who start stealing back Chinese art that was stolen from that is now in Western museums to return to China. And yeah, it was really good. If you love a good heist situation, very character driven, like they all have their unique perspectives and reasons why they're doing it. And it's very interesting because with the exception of one of the students, they're all Chinese American. And so they have very different connections to China and why they want to do it. Some of them are interested in art, some of them not really. I think I gave it 4 or 4.5 stars. I'm still sitting on it, but really enjoyed it, and it did turn out to be a romance kind of in the end. So
Ooh.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Okay. I just finished One and Only by Carla Sorensen, and I'm specifically mentioning the author because there's so many of them with that same title. But it is I believe the first in a series, or at least it's an interconnected standalone, and it is a marriage of convenience. And you know how I feel about that trope. I love it.
I'm starting to realize.
S tier trope. S tier trope.
Yes.
Yeah.
With a single dad. So that was even better, and it was wonderful. I really enjoyed it. I still haven't fully decided what I'm giving it. I think I'm leaning towards a 4. but I gotta sit on it and let it like soak into my brain a little bit.
I have been in a bit of a reading slump, to be quite honest with you. I've been deep in the editing trenches, so it's kind of like
Mm.
brain no focus on one thing at a time.
Hmm.
But I did just recently pick up "Marry Me" by Shanna Rogers, so I will be reading that here shortly.
Oh, that sounds good.
It's like witches and wizards meeting and falling in love in North Carolina. Like it's a vibe.
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Awesome.
It's a vibe.
That's super
Now,
exciting.
now, Lee, you are a resident of North Carolina, right? You're
I
you're
am
based in
indeed.
there. Have
I
you
am.
have you born and raised North Carolinian?
No, I'm actually from South Carolina. I am a Carolina girly, but I was
Hmm.
born and raised in down near like the Charleston, South Carolina region.
Very nice. And what brought you up north?
Work.
Okay.
I wish I had a more fun answer for that, but
Hey,
you
we've
know,
all been
you know
there.
how it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
move up north, you're like,
Yeah.
I gotta escape South Carolina. I gotta get out of here.
Hmm.
Yeah. North Carolina.
Yeah, North Carolina. I was in Texas for like a year, and then I was like, I think I'm good. Came running back with my tail between my legs.
So I know you told us a little bit about your books. Is there anything specific that you really want to like highlight about your books?
I mean, again, they're both obviously contemporary romance. I tend to love like they're both spicy, they're both slow burns. I am an absolute that is my favorite trope is a good slow burn. Love it to
Mm.
pieces. Um,
Yep.
cannot do without it. So that is my shtick. So anytime I start writing something, I'm like, how can I make it slower?
Lee, how long have you been writing?
Officially, I've been writing for a little over a year. So Pen
Oh,
Name was my
okay.
first book back in, I want to say it was, oh, what was it? November 2025 is when I published that. And then I published this Twisting Fates earlier this year and back in April.
And what was the main drive to write and publish these two books?
I've loved telling stories ever since I was a little kid, and honestly, book ideas have started from like a little kernel of an idea, and then I kind of flesh out the full thing. So, for example, when I wrote the Pen Name Project, it's about a writer who wants to write a smutty romance under a pen name, and at the time, I was toying around with the idea of writing a smutty romance of my own. So I was a little bit like, how can I break the fourth wall with
Oh,
this?
it's
Yeah,
so
very
meta.
meta.
It's so meta.
Yes.
And so I told I'm married, and I told my husband about it, and he's just like, of course, that would be something you'd want to write.
Yeah, I love that though when books are kind of like very meta like that, like kind of like poking fun at it, where you almost feel like you're in on the joke, like with the author.
Oh, 100%. I love it. And again, the whole thing with that one is it's like it's a friends to lovers fake dating romance. So it's kind of like,
Ooh.
oh, well, he's helping her with research. Wink, wink. Um,
He's such a good friend.
yeah,
I love
he's
that.
really a trooper. He's really, really taking one for the team.
Yeah.
Really powering through it.
Yeah.
So, did anything inspire you to either start writing or, as you were writing, inspire you to come up with your second book, like you were talking about?
So in general, for just like inspiration for to write in general, um, again, little kid. Oh, I wrote my own little fan fictions as a kid because I was like, "Ooh, I like this story, but how can I make it better?
Yeah.
How can I make it to what I like?"
What genres were your fan fictions?
Oh, I
Fan
think you know.
Universes?
I think
Was
you
it
know.
was it Twilight?
No Twilights. It was.
Oh,
Oh my gosh,
oh.
what was my first one? Oh, it was this really neat. It was like an anime, like back in the day. Oh, what was it?
Yeah.
I couldn't even pronounce it to save my life, so I'm not even going to butcher it. But
Okay.
it was an anime that I was kind of like, how can I make this fun? How can I make this
Wow.
mine?
Yeah.
Listen,
I
we love a good fanfic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love even up till I got into college, and I was like, my husband still doesn't know my username because I was on fanfic.net or whatever it was, and to this day, even my group of friends were like trying to like, what was it? What group was it from? They will never know. I will take that to my
Yeah.
grave.
Yeah. There have been multiple times, this has happened to me twice now, where somebody has clocked me for reading fan fiction out of the blue. And like I can't even be mad because like they're right, but I was describing a book, like a traditionally published book, to a friend in grad school once, and she just goes, "Oh, I thought you were talking about fan fiction. I don't know why. Just like that seemed like what you were talking about." And then last New Year's, I had like a psychic reading done with my brother-in-law, and it's like just started, and the guy's like, "Do you read a lot? Maybe like fan fiction?" And I was like, I can't, like, I'm not mad, but like, what vibe am I giving off that people immediately are like,
That's
you read
the
fan fiction?
that's the spirits. Spooky.
They're
They're
telling
channeling.
you.
Yeah.
It was like literally like the second thing he said to me, and I was like, okay.
That's a
And then I
good
think
psychic.
I texted Caitlin, and I was like, I think this is a sign that I
Yeah.
gotta go get back on my fan fiction reading.
I said you need to read another one now. That's
Yeah,
what this
I've been
the
slacking.
psychic is telling you. The spirits are saying you need to
The spirits
pick it
want
up
me to read
again.
more fan fiction.
Which
I'm
is like, where
supporting
have you
local
snitched?
artists. Yeah.
Exactly. Who told who?
So
who told
so Leigh, how did you go from fan fiction to your first work? Were you like working on it in your spare time? Were you just like writing stuff always, and then you eventually started putting it together into a story? What kind of like what is your process, or what started your journey into professional writing?
So I've kind of been on and off writing for a long time. I actually wrote under my real name. I published a like literary fiction novel, and I was processing a lot of different like emotions and feelings at the time. So it's a little bit more of a darker kind of story, some depression themes and that kind of thing. So I was working through that, and somebody had suggested like, well, why don't you just publish it? And I'm like, well, nobody wants to read it. It's just it's dark, it's personal. And they're like, well, even if you self-publish it, like who cares? Like somebody out there might like it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So I went ahead and self-published it, and I fell in love with the process of self-publishing. I fell in love with it. And so when I thought about what I wanted to like write more regularly, I'm like, well, I'm not depressed enough to keep writing that. So we're not gonna do that anymore. So I was like, what my favorite genre to read is romance, like fantasy, romance, that kind of thing. So I was like, okay, well, that's what I want to do. And I told my mom, and I'm like, I'm gonna write romance, and it's gonna be spicy and it's gonna be fun. And she's like, go for it. I told my husband, he's like, that's awesome. And my mom was like, I just have one request. Put it under a pen name, please, so your grandparents don't have a heart attack.
Oh my gosh. So
That's
what
such
what
a mom
about
thing.
yeah.
I'm picturing my mom listens to these episodes sometimes. Hi, Karen.
Hi Karen.
And there's
Hi,
there's been
Karen.
a couple
Hi.
there's been a couple episodes where she's usually like a week or two behind, and then she gets to that episode, and mind you, like Caitlin and I put like a warning. We're like, hey Karen, you should turn
Don't
down the
listen.
volume now.
Yeah.
And she'll listen anyways.
Mute now.
And then
Skip
she'll
ahead.
get mad at me, and she'll text me, or the next time I see her, she's like, what is that filth that you're talking about? I'm like, okay, I told you not to listen. I told you to skip.
I can't look Karen in the eyes anymore.
Yeah, and she's not even your mother. Not after Priest.
Not-
Oh yeah.
after
Oh,
that
no.
episode.
Oh no.
Oh
Oh no,
yeah,
I have one
no.
worse for you. I have one worse for you.
Oh.
My aunt was on the plane with like going on vacation with her husband, and she had picked up my book and was reading it on the flight, and she got to a spicy scene, and she's in the middle of these two like giant dudes on the plane. And she's texting me, and she's like, I hate you so much right now.
I love that.
So
Like, how could you do this to me?
you mentioned you really enjoy the writing process. Maybe let's hone in on what part of the process really stood out to you. Is it like creating the characters? Is it the universe building? Is it the storylines, coming up with different storylines?
I'd say honestly the characters.
Mm.
I love a good character driven story, and I mean they are the heart of a story. And so when I really think of like when I'm plotting something, I'm like I'll have what I call the skeleton draft, and the skeleton draft is like, okay, bare bones, what is the story? How do I get from point A to point Z of the story? And then when I go to edit, I'm like, okay, now based on the characters I've created and their personalities, their likes, their dislikes, all of that, how would they fit into these scenarios? Does it make sense that they're doing this thing? Do I need to tweak it so that it does make more sense? Do I need to change an element of the story to match what the characters actually like? So that kind of thing.
I guess that answers my plotting question. I always love to ask like what your plotting
Yeah.
process looks like, but that was a pretty good descriptor of what that looks like.
Yeah. And I think it also speaks to like obviously like characters and plotting and making sure that's aligned are important in any genre, but I feel like in romance it's almost like uniquely the most important because like
Oh, absolutely.
you could have like a thriller and at the end you could just throw in a crazy plot twist to explain some choices or like you don't have to like the characters, but like if you don't like or connect to the characters in like a romance, you're like, well, why do I even care? Like you're almost like I don't want them to be
Mhm.
together. Like this person's the worst.
Oh, absolutely. And I feel like every genre has like a version of that. So like romance is very super like character oriented. Fantasies are very like the
Mhm.
world building and that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Mysteries are much more like plot because you have to have a certain sequence of events for things to make sense. So it's like every genre has kind of its own like unique thing that that people really pay attention to.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. What so I know you mentioned that you love the slow burn, and it sounds like that is one that you would kind of like go to bat for. What is one trope that you would like defend to the death?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I know.
I have a couple of them, but I'd probably say if I had to go to bat for, it's the friends to lovers trope. It is
Yep.
so misunderstood. It is so, and it's like I had a whole conversation with somebody online recently where we were talking about it, and I was like, it's such a misunderstood trope and like so underrated. And they're like, yeah, because a lot of, especially women, have really bad experiences with like that one guy friend who like just won't take the hint. And I'm
Mm.
like, that's a good point. But like I'm such a
Mhm.
sucker for the like they've always been in love with each other. They've always had those feelings and they're just like they need the push to get there sort of thing. So I will always go to bat for the friends to lovers one.
I feel like friends to lovers fake dating makes the most sense because there's that push
Mhm.
versus like
I
friends
agree.
to lovers where like all of a sudden one of them like they've been silent for years and then all of a sudden one of them speaks up and it's like but
Mhm.
why did we do that,
Yeah.
right? Like the
I
fake dating, it kind of it makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. And like I feel like Caitlin and I talk about this a lot because normally Friends to Lovers isn't our favorite, but when it's done right, we love it.
It's
Mhm.
so good.
And I feel like, yeah, that's part of what Caitlin's speaking to it. And it also, like, as you were explaining the thought of, like, oh, so many women have, like, bad experiences, that totally makes sense. And the way Caitlin and I always joke about it is, like, her and I love enemies to lovers, second
Mhm.
chance, which is so funny if you, like, know us in real life. Because, like, never in my life am I gonna, like, there's no risk of me falling in love with my enemy. Like, I just
Yeah.
don't work like that.
Like it's
I'm
not
not giving
happening.
Wait,
anybody a
hold
second
on.
chance.
Holly, you have enemies?
Oh, many,
Yes.
Andrew,
Yes.
many.
She
Like,
has enemies.
like I'm not gonna fall in love with my work rival. Like it's just not gonna happen. And like my actual fiance and Caitlin's actual fiance are like so sweet, like golden retrievers, and like have never been our enemies. But like, or it's like the same thing with Insta Love, where we'll read it and we're like, oh, that's so unrealistic. Like
Mhm.
Dan and I met, we weren't ever like friends, we weren't enemies. We just were like, okay, and now we're dating. But yet when I
Yeah.
read that on a page, I'm like, no, that's so unrealistic. Why would I want to read about that?
Oh, 100%. Like I'll joke around with I joked around with somebody recently because it's like especially in like a contemporary romance. Like if you're in a fantasy, it makes sense to have like enemies in that kind of
Yeah.
sense. But like if you're
Yeah.
in a contemporary setting, like who is your enemy? Bob from accounting?
Right?
Like who's your enemy?
No, don't even
Yeah,
get
right.
started
Oh,
on
yeah.
Bob.
Yeah,
He
Bob is on the list.
he knows what he's
Bob is
done.
on the list.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bob
He knows what
Bob
got
knows
him
what he
here.
did.
Heating
is not a
fish in the
safe
microwave. Come on, Bob.
You can't
on,
bring
Bob, we've
fish into
talked
the
about this.
workplace. Everybody knows better. Everybody knows better.
So, Leigh, hot take. We talked about your favorite trope. What
Ooh.
is your least favorite trope? What is one you're sick and tired of? You don't want to see this anymore.
Ooh. Oh, that one's even harder, honestly, because
Mm.
I'm kind of like what you had said earlier of like I can get if it's written well, I can get around a lot of things.
Oh yeah.
I'd say unless it's written super super well, I just cannot do the sudden like the surprise pregnancy trope. I cannot do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Again, I have
Yeah.
read some really well written like surprise pregnancy trope books. Like
Correct.
there are some
Yeah.
good ones out there, but I can't do it. Of like, oh, that's the only reason we're together. Cool.
Yeah.
And
It like that one
it
has to be
kills
done
me.
extremely well.
Oh,
Yeah, and it
100%.
kills
Yeah.
me when they're like, I probably just have the flu or food poisoning. And you're like, never
I'm
in
like,
a
no, you
romance book
don't.
has
Like,
anyone
you're-
gotten the flu.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh no. And
If somebody
nowhere on the
starts
back does it
vomiting.
mention it. If somebody starts vomiting, they start to have the flu,
Mhm.
they're like, oh no, when was my last period? And nowhere on the back of the book was I prepared for this. I am so devastated.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Or when it ends with that of like,
Yes.
it'll come to me as soon as we change topics. But there was one where like the epilogue was basically like, and then she changed her mind and we had babies. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, excuse me.
It
Excuse
kills
me.
me. It kills me when it's like a college romance or like they're in their early 20s and then it's like the epilogue is like not that late, like not that long in the future, and they have like 6 kids. And you're like, wait,
Oh, yeah.
this math is not
The-
making sense to
The
me.
math is not mathing.
I'm like, you were
Yes.
together for 3 months max in the book, and then the epilogue is 7 months later, but you have 6 kids, and he's already in the NHL, but you're like the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, but you're 23. Got it.
Yep.
That is the most
It-
unrealistic thing of like anybody who's in their
Right.
20s is not a multi-billionaire. I'm so sorry. Unless you inherited it, there is no
Correct.
way.
It's a wonderful fantasy to read into. Like, it's wonderful
Oh,
to
yeah.
be like, yes, being 25 and having not a care in the world financially sounds blissful, but
Yeah.
probably
My
not
butler
happening.
can bring my champagne now. That'd be fabulous. But like
That would
real
be
life.
great. Yeah.
Yeah. While we're on a bit more general of a topic, do you have any favorite authors or books, romance or not, that you want to talk about?
So my absolute favorite book in the world is not a romance in any way. It's Furiously Happy by Jenny Lawson. Such a great book. It's like a humor, like essays about her life or whatnot. Basically anything that woman puts out, I will read. Like she's fantastic. But in terms of like stuff I normally read, I love Essie Wendell, Opal Rain, Tiffany Roberts. Who else? B.L. Brown. Oh my gosh, who else? I feel like this is like pick your favorite thing, and I'm like, oh, what things do I like again? But definitely those guys. They are top tier.
Yeah. I've heard some of those names for sure, and they've been on my list to check out. And so, like, I kind of love sneaking this question in just as a way to, like, add authors and books to my own TBR.
Yes.
As if
Oh,
it's, like,
absolutely.
not long enough.
Just
It
keep
can
adding.
always get longer. It can always get longer. It's fine. There's always
it-
room.
And it always does. Do you have any advice for aspiring authors, particularly those who might want to go the self-published route?
I would probably say my biggest advice is do not read your book's reviews as a general rule of thumb. They're not for you, they're for readers. Do not read them. Howsomever, if you have thick enough skin, reviews can be exceptionally powerful learning tools. So if there's a common theme that you're noticing in those reviews, you can take that away and improve from that. But again, those reviews are not for you. So general rule of thumb, leave them alone.
So Leigh, how long did it take you to, I guess, live up to your own advice and kind of ignore the feedback you get from reviews?
I think my first 2-star review, I was like, okay, need to walk away from that. Again,
Mhm.
and it wasn't even that bad. It was just like, not for me, which that's the way reading is. Reading is subjective. Some of my favorite books on the planet, there are people who don't like it. So that's going to be the same for when somebody reads my own books. But it's one of those, like, if you have the spoons to handle a bad review, read it, take away what you can from it kind of thing. But sometimes you just got to be like, I am having a bad day, a bad spoons day, no spoons available. No, thank you. Cannot read that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. I'm not an author, but I do grant writing, and it's to a lesser degree because it's generally the same 2 people reviewing it. Also, it's not something I've worked for like years of my life on. It's usually like I worked on this for 2 weeks. But I definitely, when I'll get like the copy back and I know I'm gonna open it and I just know it's gonna be like covered in red, I'm like, okay, we have to like put a more objective hat on of like, you almost have to detach yourself to learn from
Mhm.
it, to be like, this isn't me, like this, I'll like remind myself of like, this has actually nothing to do with like me as a person. This is
Mhm.
just like a tool to learn from. And
Oh
it
yeah,
gets
exactly.
easier, but like there are times where you like maybe aren't expecting it and you open it and you're like, oh, hello. And again, like I know when it's coming because I'll get like an email. It's not like, you know, somebody on Instagram has tagged me in something and then it's like really a surprise. And also like people have to have a some level of decorum when giving me criticism because they have to be professional versus I'm sure that's like not really, I mean, I know that's not the case because I've seen Goodreads and there are some wild reviews out there.
There
One of our
There are some
favorite,
there
funny
certainly
ones
yeah.
out
are.
there.
There are
There
some
are some
really funny
hilarious
ones.
ones.
We've done a couple of like episodes where we will take like our favorite books that we will defend to the death, and we will read 1-star reviews to hurt our own feelings, but also to kind of like
Just to
have a sense
laugh.
of humor about it, because it's just some of them are really clever. I gotta
And
give
some
it
of
to
Oh
them
yeah.
them.
make points. Like some of them I'm like,
They
yeah, you know what?
do.
I can't
Uh-huh.
disagree with you, but I'm still gonna give it a 5-star.
Like I don't want to agree with you, but like I do agree with you in a certain
Right.
extent.
Exactly.
Just
Exactly.
don't point it out.
Yep.
Yeah.
We don't
This is
need to
my
talk
blind
about the
spot.
fact that we agreed. Nope, it's fine.
We agree to disagree.
Yes.
One last question, unless anybody has any like other follow-up discussions, would just be to let everyone know where listeners can find your books and connect with you either like on social media, if you have any newsletters, anything like that that you want to shout out or promote.
Yeah, so my books are available both on Kindle Unlimited and basically anywhere you can find a paperback these days. I'm also available on most social media platforms, but basically anything you want to know about me is on my website, which is authorleighcreek.com/links.
And we
Great.
will provide links in the episode description. So if you're listening to this going, I'll never remember all that, don't worry, just scroll down.
It'll be right there.
I just want to thank Leigh. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us, and thank you for coming on the pod. It was
Yeah.
No
great,
problem.
so
Thanks for
so
having me.
great. Yeah, great talking to you, and looking forward to your continued work and to see what comes next.
Yeah,
I
I have
appreciate it.
definitely
Thank you.
had
Anything, anything upcoming you want to shout out? Maybe.
Well, so as I mentioned, I am in the editing trenches, which my editor
Mhm.
is expecting to hear from me soon. So she is probably listening to this going, "What are you doing? Excuse me." Um, but it's called Don't Date the Doctor. It's my first standalone romance in an interconnected series of small town romances, which I'm hoping to have
Ooh.
out by the end of this year. I've got a bunch of events going on in the Raleigh area, but basically, again, like anything you need from me is on my website. And if they want to sign up for my newsletter, they can get first access to when things are coming and some cool freebies that I'm trying to put in there as well.
Awesome.
amazing. Yeah, I know personally I'm gonna go download that Storm Chaser run right after we hop
Me
off
too.
this call.
And I'm adding the other
But-
one to my list.
Yeah, I've,
Well, I
I've
hope
been
you
missing
like
some
it.
twisters.
I will say I do have a it's going to be on the Romance Book Blast, which is a Stuff Your Kindle event on June 28th. So if you want to get that for free, wait till June 28th to get it.
So by the time this
That's good
comes
to know.
out, it'll be a week and a day from today. This you're listening to this episode come out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stuff your Kindle. Twisting
Heard it here
fates.
first. Hey,
Alrighty.
thanks so much for joining us. We had so much fun.
So
Yeah,
much
thanks for
fun.
coming on.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, Leigh. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Have a
Yeah.
good one.
Before we wrap, we'd love to know what you're reading right now. Drop your current read in the comments. We're always on the hunt for our next book.
I just want to thank Leigh Creek again for taking the time to speak with us. Make sure to follow her on her Instagram and look up her books wherever you want to buy your books.
Stuff your Kindle.
Stuff your Kindle.
Yes.
And speaking of authors, Holly, I heard you had a pretty big weekend with one of your favorite authors.
Oh, I did. I'm glad you brought this up. I've been dying to talk about it for a fucking hot minute. I actually told Nicole it was good we were having a guest on this week, or I wouldn't have shut up and you guys would have had to hear about this for 45 minutes.
I mean, you gotta talk about it.
Enough rambling. You might have seen on our Instagram, huge news, guys. Huge day for me personally. Huge day for the pod. I got to meet Morgan Elizabeth.
And for those of you that have been around for a while, you know how big this day is for Holly.
I almost didn't even take a photo because I was like shaking and I was like so nervous, and I was also trying to play it cool. And my sister, who told me about the event, she was at this like really cool book event. There's this it's like a mobile book cart store that does like pop-ups throughout mostly the Jersey Shore. I don't know if they go beyond that. It's Between the Covers Co. They're really cool. They had really cute merch. I really wanted one sweatshirt that had like a reading smut in bed and like drinking Diet Coke. But they didn't have it in my size left. So, but we were really tempted by that. But they had her doing a signing for Lucky Girl Summer and the first one, Tourist Trap. And luckily she also had copies of Maneater, and then for me, I got a copy of Cruel Summer because I already have signed copies of all the others because I'm part of her Patreon. But I convinced Nicole to get Tourist Trap. But Nicole's like, "Are you going to take a photo?"
wonderful
And I was
book.
I was like, I don't know, like, is that weird? And then she's like, you need to get a photo, like, you're being ridiculous. And she was right.
Mm-hmm.
And I gave her my bookmark to thank her because she donated to the marathon fundraiser a while ago. And I was like, you probably don't remember, but it turns out she did remember. And she gave me like so many cute like free art prints when I was like giving her a gift to thank her, and then she just gave me more gifts. It was like true peak girlhood. We were just like, here, you have that. No, you have that. And yeah, and so Nicole got a bunch of cute stickers and like art prints. Everybody, she like personalized the signed books. She's like the sweetest. I still am parasocial about our relationship.
So if anyone is listening to this, tag Morgan Elizabeth in this episode and let her know that Holly is a fan and will always be a fan, and maybe to come on the pod and we could talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't mention the pod to her because right now we're like pretty booked out on guest episodes until next year, and I was like,
I feel like we could make some room for Morgan Elizabeth.
We could make some room.
Right, but I didn't want to, like,
room.
A lot of, like, our current, like, coming up, we don't really have any wiggle room because we're so booked. So I didn't want her to be like, oh, I'd love to come on, and then I was like, okay, how does, like, 4 months from now sound, you know? So I am gonna reach out. Have no fear. I will get over my crushing fear of rejection. But I just wanted to be able to, like, actually offer her good times versus, like, now we have, like, 3 exciting author interviews coming up even after this one. We have our book club discussion. Like, we got a lot of content coming for you guys. And also, I was scared, okay?
That's fair. I almost didn't ask Cassie, which is what launched our whole guest podcast thing. Honestly, that was... I was petrified, terrified. And I'm happy it worked out, because now we have all these guests, which is wonderful.
Yeah. So I will reach out to her. I think, like, in the fall, when we have a better, like, when things have chilled out, because I did a better job of spacing people out, starting in, like, the fall, winter. And then we'll have some episodes for her to listen to that are, like, actually good quality sound, since we have a producer now.
Now that we have a producer.
They're better quality sound.
Yeah.
I'm trying my best
to
here.
come on, like, our janky podcast where we were recording free on Zoom, so every 40 minutes we had to get a new
Oh my gosh.
And, like, Caitlin's Wi-Fi broke halfway through one interview, and she just disappeared, and we had to get her back. Like, we want to put our best foot forward with her. And then now she can see, like, a lot of author interviews that we've done. Anyways, I said I wasn't going to talk about this for 4
You rambled.
minutes.
You really going off the rails there.
I can't help it. You would do it too.
She's excited.
Sure.
If you knew, Caitlin, were you surprised when I sent you the photo?
Yes, as soon as you sent me the photo, where was I? I was just sitting on my couch because this was the one weekend where I had nothing, which was delightful. And all of a sudden I got the text message and I was like, oh my God. And I was just like, what? What happened? I was like, you're not going to understand, but
Yeah.
Holly's dream is coming true right now.
I texted Caitlin and I was like, and then I also texted this to Dan. I was like, this is the best day of my life. And I told Dan, like, no offense. And Caitlin was like, no, it is the best day of your life. So
I understand.
So that's that.
Yeah.
Let's cut me off. Thanks for listening to this week's episode, and thank you as always for being a part of Trigger Warnings Book Club. We'd really love to grow the show, and we need your help to do it. So subscribe wherever you're listening, follow us on Instagram at trigger.warnings.bookclub, and check out our new website, triggerwarningsbookclub.com. Last but not least, if you enjoyed the show, leave us a rating. I would appreciate 5 stars. I don't know about you guys.
Or
And
just be
share it
honest.
with us. I mean, be honest, but you know.
Be honest, but
Well,
be nice, okay?
If
But be
you
kind.
make
We're
me cry,
sensitive.
Yeah. We're sensitive.
We're sensitive.
you know what? Leave a comment. Try to make me cry. How about that?
Just Andrew. I don't want to
Just
make
me.
you cry.
Yeah,
Unless-
I was like, don't make Holly and I
don't-
cry.
Yeah, make us cry by saying, you know, we're not sure about Andrew, but Caitlin and Holly, they like so angelic, so lovely.
Oh, and
Um,
tell us your favorite tropes and your hot takes. Which tropes need to go?
Yeah. And we'll probably
Yes.
agree. And share it with a fellow reader. It genuinely helps new readers and new listeners find us. We'd really appreciate that. And I know I already said one last thing, but actually one more because I'm annoying. I'm running the New York City Marathon this year, raising money for the Book Fairies, a charity that gets books into the hands of kids who need them in New York City, Long Island, and internationally. If you'd like to support the run, that'd be really cool of you. All of the links are in the show notes, as well as our Instagram bio. Every dollar helps. $1 is the cost for them to distribute a book. So truly, every dollar helps and gets books into the community. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.